Hello there, Internet. I just realized that I haven't changed the picture of what I'm making, so let me just adjust that real quick. And then be ready to get going. So... we're not making a crown anymore. We're making a shirt. There we go. That's more like it. Okay, so there we go. On the previous 2 streams for this project, I made the pattern and tested a mock-up, and I felt it was pretty good at the end of last time. I even started cutting some of the panels. But when I had another closer look at the mock-up in the mirror, I noticed that on the back of the sleeve, like here, it was pulling a little bit. And I just want to fix that before I cut the final sleeves. So the reason that I think it's doing that is because I cut some corners. So, you know, cut corners get punished. What I did was I had this sleeve head, and because I've got the 2 pin tucks here, I added a little bit of extra width, and I just straight up added it to the edge and then sort of blended it into the curve. And that changes how curvy this is, which is part of what makes it like fit around the bottom of your arm nicely. And what I should have done is just move the entire line over a little bit, preserving more of that curve. And I think that's what caused it. So I was lazy, I got punished for it. Let's fix it. So what I've got here is sort of sleeve version number 3. And I've taped some extra paper to the edges, and I'm gonna redo that edge because I screwed it up. So so originally, this is how it would perfectly line up, and it would end here. And I extended it by this much. So instead, I'm gonna just move it over by that much, and then use the original curve to draw that back in. So I'm just gonna cut off the excess that I added last time, because that's just not supposed to be there. And then I'm gonna trace that. So what have we got here? Oh, this is actually a bunch of pieces all taped together. Yeah, it's gonna be a little tricky to cut into 1,000,000 pieces. I'm gonna just quickly stick down these 2 pieces, because otherwise they're gonna just fall off. Let's get some double-sided tape. This is some crappy double-sided tape. That should stick at least well enough to keep this where it should be. Whoops. It's very not sticky. I think it's getting really old, and it wasn't great tape to begin with. Alright, now I can cut off the part that I shouldn't have added in the first place. And I can do the same on the other side. Why does it look different here, like I added less? How did that happen? And how did I trace it on here? So... oh, I did add it. I added it when I traced it, I think. Because I've got this point and that point, so Yeah, okay. Gotcha. This pattern is becoming a real sort of Frankenstein piece with little bits of paper taped here, there, and everywhere, but we'll get there in the end. So first let's do the back of the sleeve. And so it gets shifted over here a little bit. I'm going to try to keep the marking for... Wait. What? Scoot this over a little bit. I'm going to keep the length the same, so I'm going to leave these points where they should be. And then just sort of tilt the whole thing over a little bit. I think that should do it. Oh yeah, and let's mark that notch for... is that even correct? It looks way different from where it originally was. Where's my back panel? Oh yeah, it is correct, actually. Okie dokie, all good. Hey! Looks like we got two friends in the chat. Hi, Ida and Yuli. Nice to meet you. Good to see you in the stream. I don't think I've seen you here before. Are you new or are you just the first time chatting? Okay, I think that's one side fixed. As soon as I make a nice curve out of this. Ah! Well, welcome to part 3. The part you've missed was all the pattern drafting stuff. Except, I guess, this fix that I'm doing right now. And then... I don't think I'll be able to sew the whole thing today, but hopefully we'll get somewhere. So here also adding in a little bit of extra width to account for the pin tucks. Aw, thank you. I don't even really consider myself a YouTuber, I guess. I'm more of, I don't know, I stream, and I do stream on YouTube, but I'm not really sure if I consider myself a streamer either. I mostly just make things and share it, I guess. Ah! So in that case, everyone currently watching, go check out Julie and the Wizards. All of my currently 8 viewers, one of which is you. But I'll have to check out your channel then. What kind of stuff do you do? a small problem here. I'm not sure you can actually see that. The camera doesn't seem to focus very well on it, but I've got the original corner here in that purple line, and then the corner where I just moved it, which is this one. As you can see, they don't really smoothly connect. So I'm gonna have to add a little bit of extra paper, which I'm gonna just do by folding over a little piece of tape and connect them smoothly. Mostly sewing related? Awesome. I'll have to check you out after the stream. You know, I started streaming mostly just as a kind of productivity hack. Because when you tell people you're going to be sewing something for 3 hours on a Sunday afternoon, you kind of have to show up. And it's been working pretty well for me, so. Oh yeah, Painter's tape is huge. I have several rolls just lying around my house, and I use it for everything. Like sticking pattern pieces together. I love it for pattern pieces because you get to, you can iron it, you can draw on it exactly the way you would on paper. So it's great for that. And then I also use it for labeling boxes in the freezer, for taping boxes shut if you're going to mail something out. It's just so versatile. Alright, so I think I've got my fixes done. Time to get cutting. I've already cut some of the pieces last time. I think what happened last time was that I started cutting, realized I made a mistake of some kind, and then quit. So let's see where I left off. It looks like this is my back and my front panel. And I don't think I need to change anything here except maybe make the waist a little bit bigger still. I know I made it bigger last time, but then I tried it on and it still looked kind of tight. I do like the curve that this still has, so I want to keep that. Maybe I'll just reduce the dart a little bit to make sure it's not too tight for me. I'll just do that, I guess. I'll do it in red so I know which one is the bad one. Or purple, I guess, because that's the color I've got. Let's just take, I don't know, a smidge. I can fit into the shirt, so. What is this? What's this? Papery medical tape? Ooh, that sounds good. Huh. Yeah, I did want to lower the tucks, and I did do that. I have many crossed out thingies here, and the stripes all the way near the bottom are the ones that I'm going to be using. So that's already fixed. Now I'm just going to give myself a little bit more space to get in and out of the shirt. I can already do it. It just felt a little bit tight and like a struggle. So I'm just going to make it slightly easier on myself. I'm just going to put some crosses through the original lines to remind myself that those are the ones I don't want. Okay, I think now I just need to trace this. Obviously I've already cut it, I just need to mark everything. And what I'm gonna do this time, I usually use threads, like basing threads, to mark everything, but it's very tiresome, and I don't think I need that many markings here. So I'm gonna try to use a combination of chalk and tracing paper to get everything marked out, hopefully. I'm just gonna pin this down in a couple of places so it doesn't shift. Alright, let's see if this will actually work. That's always an interesting question. So I'm just gonna trace it with my chalk pencil on one side and then double check that the tracing paper gets the other side. Ah, that's very faint. I guess I'm not pushing hard enough. See if I push a little bit more, whether that makes it better. Nah, I'm gonna switch to a different color, I think. Or I should just do it in 2 goes and do it with chalk now and with a tracing wheel for the second one. Yeah, I don't know. Or even just flip it over and manually trace it. I don't know, it's also so tedious. I want that efficiency. I'm gonna try a different color. Soon it's nano time. I could write a book about adventures of altering patterns. I don't know, I could write a book about that. I feel like I'm nowhere near good enough to be making a book about that. There sure are lots of adventures where I got punished, but I'm not sure that other people want to read. And then I cut some corners, and then it was wrong, so I had to make a slight alteration. It's not quite the adventure arc. Where's my pack of... There we go. Let's get a different color. I had good experiences with the red. Oh, there's also a sheet of white. Ooh, let's try that one. Let's see how well that one works. Ah, that's perfect. That's nice and visible. Well, not nice and visible on cam, but ta-da! Alright, now I only have to trace it once. Here's just seam ripping a loop scarf out of blue cotton. That wants to be something else. Yeah, I know the feeling where you're like, this project was maybe not the best and it should probably be turned into something else. But yeah, black is tricky on camera. I also get a lot of like autofocus issues where it has no clue what's going on when the stuff on the table is mostly black. And then my hand enters the picture, and it's like, oh my god! Focus! This is so much faster than using basting threads. I'm also considering still buying some of those magnets for your scissors that you can use to cut exact seam allowances. But not marking anything at all kind of feels wrong to me as well. Feels like you have to rely way too much on whether your hand jiggled when you were cutting or something. Oh yeah, we all need to focus. Too bad that humans don't have autofocus. A story about a girl that's supposed to travel the world. Which actually has never sewn before. Yeah, I'm sure you could write some kind of fairy tale about tailoring. I mean, after all, The Emperor's New Clothes is a classic one. I'm just not sure I have the writing talent for it. Oh, wait. I'm doing this wrong. I'm not tracing on top of the actual tracing paper anymore. I missed a whole bunch, didn't I? Yep. Oh, I need, like, table length tracing paper. This part is not even working. What is this? What is this? I am upset now. This part doesn't even work. How about this part? I guess nothing's perfect. It's somewhat visible. I don't know. Maybe I'll just flip it over and trace it on the back. I don't know. I'll just get whatever I can get with the tracing paper and do the rest by hand. The Brave Tailor? I haven't heard of that one. Might have to look that up because I like fairy tales. This paper, it's supposed to just sort of rub off some chalk when you put pressure on it. So when I push down with this pencil, it should also leave some mark on the back. But it's not really quite letting go of its chalk, so it's not great. I guess it works better with darker colors. It's easier to see. Oops. Now it seems that just about half of it doesn't even work. The Valiant Little Tailor. I have not heard of that. What is that? What is that fairy tale about? Also, when I try to translate it into Dutch or something, because hello from the Netherlands, that doesn't really ring a bell with a fairy tale. It's about a smart guy with a lot of self-esteem. Huh. Let's see, here's the waist marking. Here is the sleeve marking. He killed 7 flies with 1 stroke, and he was so proud that he embroidered a belt saying, wow, I mean, honestly, if I killed 7 flies in 1 stroke, I would be proud as well. I'm not sure I would embroider it, but een dappere snijdertje? I've never heard that either. That's a definite gap in my fairy tale knowledge. Alright, it looks good on the back. Now just gotta mark the dart. I poked some tiny holes into the paper so I can just make 4 dots and connect them later. Oh wait, that's the wrong dot, isn't it? So did people think he meant killing people or something? Yeah, sure, let's post it. Let's find out about all the sewing related fairy tales. Did that work? That worked great. Alright. Now I'm just gonna take the paper off and use a ruler to connect the dots for the dart. Let's make sure the layers don't shift. I'm sure this is impossible to see on camera, but I swear there's some dots for the dart somewhere. Actually, I don't think I can see them on the front. Huh. Guess the hole I poked is not big enough. Oh yeah, I got it. Storytelling time. Ooh. I need my cup of tea now. Op een mooie zomermorgen zat een snijdertje op zijn tafel voor het venster. Hij was opgewekt en naaide dat het een aard had. Wow, this is really old-timey. No one says that ever. Toen kwam een boerenvrouw op het stadhuis. Moest te koop. Wow. So he's buying some mush. Hi Shania, it's not a replay. Welcome to Storytelling Time, where we are translating The Valiant Tailor, which is apparently a fairy tale I've never heard of. So there is a lady who has fruit jam, selling it to a little tailor. He's buying it, but she wanted him to buy more. What? So he's made a sandwich with the jam, but he's not gonna eat it until he finishes sewing. What the hell? Oh, and the flies are attracted to the jam and sat down on the sandwich. He told the flies to get off the sandwich, but they didn't understand Dutch. And he said, I'll teach you something. And he killed 7 of the flies in one go. And he made a belt that said, 7 in one swat. And he said, the whole world will know. And he put his belt on and went into the wide world. Wow. This sure is some story. It's one of those typical old fairy tales where you're like, this makes no sense, but sure, there's probably a moral to this at some point. He went into the wide world and took with him a lump of cheese. What? You figured out thrifted pens you got were taken in at the bottom so you can let them out? Ooh! It's always nice to find out that you have extra fabric when you need it. That is awesome. So, Taylor Dude I think he put a bird in his pocket is the last thing I heard. Oh, and he met a giant. And he wants to try his luck in the wide world. Should really flip that over. Oh yeah, this has been cut on the fold, so it actually fits right there. And the giant read his belt and said, 7 in one swat, and thought that he was talking about humans, and got a little bit of respect for the tiny tailor. What the hell? He's squishing his cheese and releasing the bird from his pocket to demonstrate his strength to the giant. I am very confused by this. He said, "You sure can throw, but can you carry things?" said the giant. He brought it to an oak tree. What the hell? This story makes no sense. And now he's tricking the giant into carrying a tree out of the forest by telling the giant to go in front and he will carry the back, and then actually just sitting on the back and letting the giant do the whole thing. That's cheating, man. Cheating. I've got 2 sleeve marks here. I wonder which one is the correct one. What is this? Oh, it seems that I've completely lost it here. What the hell did I just do? That's okay though, because then I can just put it back wherever I want-ish. I'll just put it there. Alright. Oh, I'm not keeping up with it now. But I think he's trying to prove to the giant that he's very strong. And now he's in a cave full of giants. So here's the bust dart. I kind of considered... Oh wait, I already lowered the bust dart. I am so smart. I was gonna say I considered lowering it, but I actually did. Whew! Go me! Like, what's the... Jeez, we're not halfway through. Like, what is the punchline? How does it end? I want to know the ending, but I don't think I can do another half of this. I thought you said you had short translations, but they were a bit longer than I anticipated. I mean, if that's cheating, I'll just read it later. Ah, that's true. Maybe some people want to actually read it and not get spoiled on a probably several 100-year-old fairy tale. So now that I've marked the outside of the front panel, I want to mark the pin tucks not on the wrong side of the fabric, but on the right side of the fabric. It will be a bit awkward because you'll see the chalk on the stripes, at least until I wash it the first time. But what I want is that the... because I have to stitch them right side out. And so I want to be able to see where I should fold them. So I think I'm going to make some sort of dotted line or something where they should be. So I think that means I should take this, I should unpin this and flip it outside out to mark it. Yeah, thanks for for even telling me the existence of this thing. So, how am I gonna put that in the right spot if I open this up? Beep. I think I'll just... Or I can put the tracing paper on the inside. Wait. I think I'm onto something here. If I just put double-sided tracing paper on the inside, then put it in between and put this on top. I think I should get there. Just need to double check whether the red works. It does. Oh yeah, there are, I guess most famously, what's, now I can only remember fairy tale names in Dutch. What is this? Not Cinderella, the other one. Sleeping Beauty! She was at her spinning wheel when she got cursed. So theoretically, I can now just mark the pin tucks with a tracing wheel. And that should do it. To get it marked on the right side of the fabric. Let's see if I'm right. Where's the tracing wheel? Thanks. Maybe we can do, like, if I ever get tired of streaming my sewing adventures, I can start streaming fairy tales or something, and just get a cup of tea and a fireplace. And tell some fairy tales. I'll mark the ends of the lines with a pencil or something, but I think this is going pretty well. There's probably already channels that are just people reading out fairy tales, right? So like some sort of audiobook plus, where you also get a visual of someone cozy looking with a fireplace and a big armchair reading it to you. That has to be a thing that already exists. Oh yeah, true. Alright, or I could mark it like this. Boop boop. Let's see whether that worked. Ooh, it's very difficult to see on camera, I'm sure, but it looks great. Yeah, I'll say that worked. It's a bit faint here, but it's... I'll just give it a little bit of extra, just so it doesn't fade out. I guess I'll do the pin tucks. I'll just stitch the pin tucks first. It'll be easy to do when there's not a whole bunch of the rest of the shirt attached to it anyway. And also that will give the chalk less opportunity to rub out of the fabric. I'll just do that first when I start stitching. Okay, good enough. Now I just need to cut some sleeves. I also still need to cut a collar and a cuff and the little slit thingy for the neckline. But we'll deal with that later if we get around to it today. So, sleeve piece. I received 100 messages today. Sorry, what? Struwwelpeter. Also never heard of that. Like, I have a copy of Grimm's Fairy Tales somewhere, I think, and occasionally check some of those out because they're classics. And I have some fairy tale book from the Efteling. It's like a theme park that is centered around fairy tales. They publish their own fairy tale book. This is not staying put, so let's tape it down. Okay, where's my fabric now? Boop. Let's see where we left off. There's a little bit extra here on the top that I guess maybe could be a cuff if I'm lucky. So I'm gonna just keep it there and put a pin in it so it doesn't disappear on me. Still gonna need a bit more space. Alright, sleeve. See, the green line on the sleeve should be down the middle, which I guess I can check. I'll just fold this in half and wow, this does not want to fold. Come on. Don't be weird. I guess it's slightly off grain for the paper itself or something. So the paper is really trying to resist how I'm folding it. Well, close enough to check whether I've got it on grain. You had 2 Grimm's Fairy Tale books. Ah, yeah, giving extra books away. Like, I tend to buy copies of books I already have just to get a fancier version or something. So I can totally relate to that. Oh yeah. So let's see. I'm gonna place this on the tables differently. I didn't properly clean up my table, so there's still a bunch of crap everywhere. Kind of getting in the way, but we'll get there. Okay, so something like that should be it. Let's check whether I've got it on grain. I don't even try to look at the fabric grain, I just measure the distance from the edge of the fabric. It's actually a little bit off. That should be it. You work with the elderly? Oh, that's awesome. I guess, yeah, you can read fairy tales to kids and to the elderly, and some adults, but most don't appreciate it. I'm trying to stop putting pins in my mouth, but I have sinned today. Cut out the dart later. Maybe even after I've sewn it. This is just easier. You can work with fairy tales in therapy? Oh, I never really... Oh, I suppose you can use it as a kind of metaphor for what someone is going through. Okay, that's a sleeve cut. Let's I'll just maybe use both of these next to each other and just get double the marking space. And it'll just be mixed colors on the back. That should work. This line does not look smooth. What was I doing there? That's better. You're reading all the Jane Austen books? Oh yeah. Like, just what they're wearing is described in the book. You can sort of imagine it, especially if you've kind of seen it before. I like that we're having a whole, like, productive discussion about the use of fairy tales in therapy. This is great. The correct marking is this one. not that one. I guess here as well, I also want to mark the pin tucks on the right side of the fabric. So I'll try to do that trick again with shoving the tracing paper in between the layers. Oh, I love these edges that have the painter's tape on them. They're so crisp and easy to trace. This is awesome. And then for the sides, I'll just mark either end and do the rest with a ruler. It's just easier than tracing a long straight line. Yep. Put this back and trace this side. Good luck, Shania. The machine should be easy, right? You don't ever really unlearn the machine, I think. Yeah, that's really, like, I hear a lot of stuff about people with Alzheimer's doing really well with things from their childhood. So it seems that they like lose their memory sort of in reverse. The things that are the most recent they forget, but the things from really long ago they still remember. I don't think I got that corner. That's a nice blend of colors here on the back. But hey, all the markings are there. Pretty good. It's a bit faint here and there, but I'll get there. Alright, now I'm gonna do the bottom edge. Gotta make sure I get the corners so I can do the rest with a ruler. And then make sure I got some points along this line. This edge is not all that final. It can still get longer and shorter and whatever. Well, not that much longer, I guess, but this one's gonna sort of depend on where I want it to be when I'm done puffing the whole thing up. This is not so neat. I can do a better job than this. This is also really off. Like the fabric just sort of moves out of the way. Alright, close enough. Let's see if I've got... Sorry, what did I miss? I can't remember the last time you sound. Oh yeah, the settings is always, I sometimes even, when I've finally nailed the settings on something that didn't really want to work, I just take a picture of it so I can't lose that information. Okie dokie, where are we? Okay, now let's see if I can get the pin tucks marked on the right side of the fabric. So I think I can leave most of the pins in except these two. And then I'm just gonna shove these two sheets in between here. I don't think that's gonna fit. Let's do them lengthwise. Shove them up against that pin. And I think that has got all of them covered. Where did my tracing wheel go? Up to there. And up to there. I don't like that the tracing wheel leaves a bunch of holes in my pattern. I think if you do this 3 times, you'll just have tears in the pattern or something. Oh, that's very clearly visible. I love it. Except the top, it seems, didn't quite catch. Maybe that's the paper again. Oh no, we're good. All good, all good. Yep, that's good. All right, cool stuff. I think that's enough to start sewing. And I will worry about the cuffs and the collar later. So as I said, I think I'll start with the front panel, so I can stitch the pin tucks before my chalk marks disappear on me. And that should also be a fairly easy part to do. I'm gonna put a couple of pins in it because I can never resist not pinning. You couldn't figure out how to work with a tracing wheel properly? Like, what did you try? Because I don't think it's rocket science, but also I think the sheets of tracing paper and stuff that exist are not nearly big enough to make it nice for pattern tracing. Like, I find the whole thing a bit annoying. What was I gonna grab? Oh yeah, my pincushion. It wasn't showing? Oh yeah, maybe that's just the paper though. I got me one of these because I always put pins in my mouth. And now I hope I will actually use the pins on my arm. No guarantees though. Do you think I should pin them all and then stitch them? I don't need to pin this, do I? Well, who am I even? You can just fold it like this. Maybe I'll press it real quick. Does it stay if I just do it like this? I'll just press that with the back of my fingernail and then stitch it. I think that works. Yeah, let's not make it more complicated than it needs to be. Alright, sewing machine time. Oh yeah, definitely don't make things for yourself that Santa might bring. I have to say, like, I was gonna make something like this, but then I realized that this has that sort of... You remember when you had a kid and you had those floppy bracelets where you go like this and it goes around your arm? I like that a lot, so I bought it. Haha! I think I've still got a white bobbin in here. Let's make sure I can still see you. A little bit at least. Oh yes, it's very 90s. Man, those, I think we called them like slap bracelets or something, because you would just slap them onto your arm. And you can't get them anywhere anymore, but like, oh, I had one in like all kinds of glittery colors. Like, you know how you have that sort of holographic glitter sheet stuff? Most were made out of that, and it was glorious. Is this even black, or is this just dark gray? Hold on. It's actually black, but it's thicker than this black. I think this might be the crappy black. It's not marked as crappy black, though. I had some cheap spool of black that I would use for mock-ups and things, but... Why is it different? I don't trust this bobbin. I'll just make a new one and use this mystery black for something that matters a bit less. You can still buy them? Ooh. Yes, glitter is a color. I'm pretty sure glitter is a color. Oh no, I don't like the feel of it either. It's just my childhood. Oh. This is the bobbin I marked with a cross for being the crappy black. So I guess the one I got is not the crappy black. But if I put the good black on this now, that would be confusing to future me. I need an empty bobbin. Here we go. Now my 90s kid is reawakened, and it also wants Spice Girls temporary tattoos and things. Let's see. Excuse me? Oh, you're not on there properly. You are entirely correct to refuse. That's better. Alright, that should be enough for a while. The crappy black. I mean, yeah. Or maybe for my book title. The crappy black. $50 Shades of Black. I legit think that 50 Shades of Black actually exist. Like, I have a lot of black stuff in my wardrobe, and I can totally tell when I'm digging through my laundry basket looking for a specific one. You can tell the difference between black and slightly different black. It's a thing. Alright, I think we should be good to go. I had some issues. I was sewing together a mock-up earlier, and it seemed like the tension was a little bit off. Let me just check if it's okay. No, that looks normal. There's a movie 3 Colors Black? Oh, I don't even know. And the Backstreet Boys, yeah. I mean, when I was in primary school, all the girls wanted to be in the Spice Girls and all the boys wanted to be in the Backstreet Boys. That was what it was like. Back in my day. Alright, so when I did the trial piece of the pin tucks, I think I stitched on some like little transparent line that's on my sewing foot. I'm just gonna try to stick to that. Here, you can actually see what I'm doing. And I've got to make sure that I keep my finger on these 2 threads when I start stitching, otherwise they sort of pull into a knot on the back and that's gonna look ugly. Alright, I think that's one successfully done. Let's double check this. You ordered black cotton? Yeah, see? Black is not black. You put on warm black tights with cold. Yeah, exactly. You see, it's less of an issue with black. Even black and slightly different black will usually still match. I think that looks very reasonable. When they're all done, I'm gonna, like, I've got these 2 sort of wispy threads sticking out at the end. I think I want to go through the effort and pull them all to the back of the fabric just to make it look more nicer. But for now, this is good enough. I'll have to press it as well to make it nice and flat. But hey, it's working. It's a nice clean line without pinning. I can do this. just sort of squeezing it on the line and running my fingernails across to keep everything in place. It seems to be working fine. Just gotta make sure I don't get anything caught from the bottom, because I'm great at getting stuff caught underneath. Two down, 8 to go. And then the ones on the sleeves. Wait, I should probably do all of them from the top to the bottom, just to avoid any weirdness. Let's get a little bit closer because I'm leaning forward and it's not good for my back. I think once this is pressed, it'll look really nice. Oh, by the way, I got an update about my my Snapmaker 3D printy CNC laser thingy device. It was supposed to be shipped in September, but I didn't get it yet. And now it turns out that there have been some delays because of COVID and quality control issues, and they're shipping it in October, which, you know, we are currently living in. But I guess that means that if they put it on a boat on the 31st of October, that still counts as shipped in October. So I'm not really holding my breath until mid-November. But then I should be able to get things. You found your sewing machine has an extra foot for this? Huh. I have that. Do you mean one that's like this? I think this is also for blind hems. I guess you could use that to just prop the fabric up against the little marker thingy. Is there a specific foot for pin tucks? Because I imagine you can use this sort of blind hem foot to adjust the thingy. I have words. Like, you can adjust a little. I also have this sort of distance marker thing. Like this thing. but that's more for wider hems. Oh well. Honestly, it's not too difficult to just follow the line on the foot, so I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Yeah, that makes sense. I'll just Google it later and then see whether it makes sense. Oh no! Pulled into a kind of knot in the back. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, I think it's fixable. Fix it later. All right, this is going to be the last of this first set of 5. I have one of those magic needle things. I'm not really a snag wizard, I think it was called on the card. That's to pull loose threads through to the other side of the fabric. I'm kind of hoping that it'll also work, pull these threads hanging out to the other side. Otherwise I have to do the whole thing where you poke the needle through and then you get the thread through the eye and then you pull it through to the other side, and it's very tedious and I don't want to do it. Oh no! Oh no, Shania, no! That's, the empty bobbin thing is just the worst. The worst. I'm feeling this in my bones. Let's see if the snag wizard would help. Where do I have it? Here it is. Where's my test piece? So the thing with this, it's like a needle, but it's got sort of a rough texture on the end instead of a hole. And the idea is that the rough texture helps to pull loose threads along with it. You just sort of wrap it around a bit and then go like whoop. And it works. And it also doesn't leave huge rippy holes in the fabric. So I think I'm going to use this to pull all the loose threads to the back before snipping them off. Yep, that works great. You've seen Rachel Maxey's latest video? There's a meme with this empty bobbin thing. Oh yes. You've made it through the difficult curve that you were so dreading to stitch, and you have done it perfectly, removed all the pins along the way, And then you find out that the bobbin was empty halfway through. Oh god. Like, that's a proper horror story. Why did it work so well on my test piece and it doesn't work here at all? Come on now. Don't be like this. Did that get it? Oh yeah, I got a little bit through. Yay! Finished the seam ripping! It's always so satisfying when you can move along with your project. Alright, that's 2 threads pulled through. And now you can hopefully maybe see the difference. Where I'm not putting this in my mouth. So here on this one, you don't see any loose threads where I started or stopped stitching. Where here they still exist. You know, these little loose bits. Because they are now, ta-da-da-da, over here. Just pulled through to the back and then I can snip them off. And we will never have to see them ever again. Because I think it looks kind of unprofessional when you have, you know, you have this nice row of pin tucks and then everything is just sort of has little threads and bits sticking out. It's ugly. A hairpin has to do with sewing? Is bobbin? No, a bobby pin is a hairpin. The bobbin is like the tiny spool of thread that you have in the bottom of the machine. This one. And when it's empty halfway through stitching, you hit yourself. Ooh, do I want to be famous? I'm definitely not buying followers. Get out. Can I ban this person straight up? Boop. Wait, did I just block someone else because I misclicked? Hold on. Hold on. I might have accidentally blocked someone. Where do I fix this? I didn't mean to block you. Hold on. Seven in one stroke. Yeah, definitely. Oh god. Oh god. I need to Google how to fix this. How do I restream unblock? Restream blocked users. Oh god, I can't find it! So much pressure. I did block someone, right? Did I not? Let's see. Shania's messages are still there. Yukimika's messages are still there. Julie is still there. Who was chatting before that I don't see anymore? Oh god! I swear, if you're trying to chat right now and I have accidentally blocked you, I apologize. I will figure out how to unblock you later, because I just can't find it. I hope I only block the bots. Oh yeah, we all learn all the time, actually. So I'm gonna go back to pulling some of these threads through. So this is kind of tedious. Maybe I'll save this for when I'm watching someone else's stream. As easy as it is with the Snack Wizard, I'll just keep sewing and do this later while watching someone else's stuff. I know some fancy sewing machines have those functions where they can tell you that the bobbin is about to run out. And honestly, those are also kind of annoying. Because they tell you the bobbin is about to run out about, I don't know, 5 meters before it actually runs out. So you can still stitch. Like, if you take the bobbin out at that point, you're just wasting thread. And that also feels kind of bad. So then you press ignore on the warning and you keep stitching. And then eventually you still end up with your bobbin ran out, except you could have seen it coming. Can't win all of them, I guess. Which streams do I like to watch? I either watch YouTube videos, like non-stream videos from all kinds of costumers, or I just go on Twitch and I go to the Makers and Crafting corner and I click through things until I find something I like, because there is so much stuff there. Because you get things like embroidery, sewing, cosplay, but also people like assembling keyboards or doing blacksmithing or something, or drawing. And it's just such a nice place to find out about other crafts and just see someone do the thing for an hour or so. So I usually just end up on a random person stream, watching them do whatever. I did the previous set right to left, and maybe I should have kept that up. Because now I'm gonna get the ones that I've already finished on the top. Is that gonna annoy me? Is that gonna make it wobbly under the foot, maybe? We'll see how it goes. Oh no, it's gonna be fine. It fits next to each other. I can watch all of your 11 videos, and I will. Don't worry. I keep telling myself that I will make more like short YouTube videos, but it's so much more effort to write a script or some kind of setup at least. And then film all the things, edit all the things. So much time goes into it that I would rather spend just making things. That I usually end up just streaming whatever. Wait, where's the end now? Okie dokie. Only the hem now! Woo! Script, yeah. I'm the kind of person who likes a script, or at least some kind of written out voiceover. Yeah, maybe I should YOLO and vlog, I don't know. But even just getting halfway decent footage of most of the steps in the things I make is just, I don't know. I did a blog for a while. It still exists on my website, but even... And that just requires me to take pictures of everything. And even that, sometimes I would be writing the blog post and be like, actually, I did not take a picture of the important thing I'm about to say right now. And if you make it a video, you have to have at least like 2 different angles of the thing you're showing, otherwise it's boring and maybe I'm making it more difficult than it needs to be. I don't know. Going pretty smoothly. I've only got one more to do. It felt like not a lot of effort. I think the machine sounds the same, but I'm not sure. I mean, you can make a video of hand sewing things. I think there are channels out there who do a great job with that. It's just that your project takes ages. So by the time you have the whole project finished to release the video, you'll be making like 2 videos a year or something. At least at my rate of hand sewing. This is it. I'm not sure I'm starting at the right point. Okay. Wait. Why are you getting tangled up? Oh no. Everything is fine. Everything's cool. It was just me. I think that's the last of them. So I'm gonna just press this real quick. Or should I do the ones on the sleeves first? I'll just do the ones on the sleeves first. So we got... Where's my sleeves? You've come to the realization that the legs are so... Oh no! Not even if you like remove the little box thingy, like most sewing machines will be able to have some sort of free arm like this at some point. Is it that? Those have to be some really skinny jeans. All right, so I'm gonna stitch this dart first, and then I should be able to do the pin tucks on the sleeves. Why is this? Oh, it's not stuck together. It's because it's the edge of the fabric. Wow. It would look neater by hand. Yeah, sometimes you just kind of have to. Though I find that sometimes, like I did a little kid's jacket yesterday, and what I did, let's see if I can actually kind of show that. So you take the box off, right, and you've got this space, and you could put the whole sleeve on like this and sort of rotate it around that arm, and that's very tedious and very, very tight and things. What you can also do is take the sleeve and have it up here and just rotate it underneath the foot like that. And you have to sort of look into it as you're stitching, but it's way easier to manipulate it back and forth than if you've got the whole arm there. But then you have to stitch on the inside of the sleeve or of the pants legs. But I find that it really helps to do tiny little things, just rotating them around the foot rather than rotating them around the machine. So let's pin these things and not put anything in my mouth. Wow, that sounds potentially dubious. Like, I'm not sure it works in all cases, but I find that things that don't really want to fit over the arm of the machine will work that way sometimes, so. Good luck, and let me know how it works for you. I hope the explanation made sense. Alright, that's one dart pinned. Where's the other one? Should put some kind of stream interaction effect thingy where if I put a pin in my mouth, you can type something in the chat and some bot will make a huge pop-up saying, "Stop putting pins in your mouth!" Should totally make something like that. Last time you were able to use a new machine but didn't get it to work. Oh, I understand if you're not that familiar with sewing machines that it's a little bit daunting. They do tend to be not that easy to break, but it definitely takes some getting used to. What issue are you having with it? Maybe we can help out. That's good enough. Yeah, even this one, it's not even that old. It's probably, I don't know, 90s or something. And I thought I broke it the other day, but I didn't. I took off the little plate under the foot to get some dust out of there, and apparently I just didn't put it back right, and then it started flopping around. So I took it in for repair, and that repair came to €0 because the guy just inserted the flap correctly. You know how to thread it? Oh yeah, that's... I mean, most machines are similar, so I guess I can demo how to put thread in mine, and then maybe it'll make sense with yours. Or maybe you can find a video in need, but I'll just quickly... Let's just plop this over. And I'll show you how it's done. I'll put something underneath there to prop it up so you can see. Boop! Is it a modern machine, or is it a kind of old-ish one? Yes! It's my baby. It just works. It's not fancy, it's a bit loud, but it works. So, what you've probably got is a pokey pin up there that you put the spool on, right? Or maybe it's sticking out of the back somewhere. It's over there somewhere. And you've also got a wheel on the side that you can turn, and when you do, the needle moves up and down. Also, a little thingy up here will be moving up and down. There's a little arm thing with a hole in it, and that will move up and down, and it'll be all the way up a little bit after the needle is all the way up. That's an important one. You want to put that all the way at the top. Just turn the wheel until that little thingy is all the way at the top. And then usually you will have some little button type thingy that you can clip the thread into. It's this one in my case. I'll show you from the top. So the thread just sort of clips in between there. And then either your moving loop thingy will be on the left or on the right. And you want to go through the loop thingy second. There will also be some kind of flappy pressure plate on the other side. So first you go in between the pressure plate thingy. Then usually you have to go behind some kind of hook near the bottom. So in my case, I go down through this slot and then go back up behind this purple thing. And go back up. Then you go behind the wiggly thingy with the eye. And around it. So I come in from the left, I go around it to the right, and then when I pull it back towards me, it should go into the hole that's in it. And then you can just lead it down to the needle, going through whatever clippy thingies are there to guide it. Like here I've got this little hook that it goes behind, and then right above the needle there's also a clippy thingy that you don't even really need that much. And that's how the vast majority of machines are threaded. Just go behind some clippy thingy, through the pressure plate thing, down and back up through the moving hook thing that needs to be at the top for it to work, and then to the needle. So if you can find those kinds of elements on your machine, you're probably good to go. I think I might have done it a little bit wrong though as I was demoing it, because it feels a bit like the tension is weird now. When the foot is up, it should just pull through smoothly. And then for the bottom, there'll be some little flap here that opens, or maybe it slides out sideways. It's behind the little accessory box that you can probably take out. And then you will find the bobbin case. In which you will find the bobbin. It's a tiny spool of thread. And in most cases, there's a little flappy thingy that you can pull up on the bobbin case, and that's really helpful to hold it with. So just poke that up and hold it. And then there will be a little slit in the side that the thread has to go through. So you hold your bobbin in such a way that the loose end of the thread aligns with your index finger. So here I've got the thread going like this and then along the top towards the rest of my hand. And you plop it in and run the thread through the slit, and then usually also behind some sort of hook until it's in a hole, and also just comes out with a little bit of resistance. Not super smooth, but definitely smooth enough to fall out. You have an old Singer with a foot paddle. Oh! Yes. Do you have a round bobbin case, or do you have one of those more longer ones that are from even older Singers? If you have an old Singer, you should be able to find a manual for it somewhere, because those are really popular. So just Google it, and I think you'll find something. And then you just pop the bobbin. I think the Singers, they have the flap right underneath the foot, like flat here instead of in the front. And you plop the bobbin in flat as well, instead of sitting straight up like it is here. Anyway, back to my darts. I'm gonna press this dart open because I will need that, because the dart only goes up to here, but the pin tuck goes on a little bit further. So I wanna press the dart flat and then plop it up and top stitch it, and then go a little bit further to make a pin tuck. So I'm gonna just press it first. Move this stuff out of the way. And in the meantime, I guess I can also press the other ones. Yeah, you will definitely find the manuals. Oh yeah, and I should probably also stitch this other dart so I could press both at the same time. That's a smart move. Okay, pressing. I'm just gonna press them from the center front outwards a little bit. Just so they're lying flat and not trying to pop up all the time. Oh, it looks so neat. Look at the little lines. Very smooth. Very smooth indeed. Found a nice guy on a forum who sent your site email. Ooh, nice. I also seen some YouTube videos on how to thread old singers. So I was sort of looking into maybe buying one because they're cute and fancy looking, even though my machine works fine. So I was just trying to figure out what I should look for in a secondhand store before buying one. So I just want to get a feel for like what the bobbin case looks like and which parts should all be there. And it turns out there are tons of videos about old singers and how to thread them, repair them. Okay, the pressing. You have 3.5 machines? How does that work? Like 3 you actually use and 1 that you don't? So, now I'm gonna take the darts that I have here and fold them up and then top stitch them and continue that into a pin tuck down to about 5 centimeters past where they were. I am gonna pin that because I'm a tiny one. Aw, that's cute. That should be good enough. Oh yeah, Taylor's ham's always good. Since I've had one, all my pressing has been so much more smooth. Also, I like making corsets a lot. pressing those curves is just about impossible on a board. I almost put it in my mouth, but I didn't. Not the Taylor's ham, the pin. Alright, I think that's ready to get stitched. Let's do this. Does the traveling one actually work though? Because I sometimes saw those tiny sewing machines on some like home shopping channel and they always looked awful. You've probably got a better one. I didn't make my Taylor's ham, I just bought it. I think there's sawdust in it, but I'm not sure. Maybe I made this a bit bigger than it should be. Not a huge deal on the sleeves though, because I've got some extra space there. You lost it? Aw. Yeah, I would love to see your review of that. Make a review video of it. Let's see. Let's trim off the rest of the dart. I guess I'll just quickly zigzag this so it's finished and it's whatever. I do have an overlock machine, but it's so much effort. Zigzag always works. I think there is now some confusion over Yuki. I think Shadai was talking to you, Yukimiko. But yeah, Yuki is also a good brand. Nice, talking about sewing machines. I think that looks pretty good. I think you can see that. I've got this nice little ridge along the top of the shoulder. Let's do the rest. Awesome. See, I'm using it. I'm not putting pins in my mouth. usually streaming until 6, so about another hour. Because 3 hours seems like a good time frame to get stuff done. I don't expect people to stick around for the whole thing if you are in need of being anywhere. It's more sort of come hang out in my sewing room type deal. But yeah, usually till 6. Longer if I'm frustrated and want to finish something, shorter if it goes well and I'm done. Why do you feel so stuck? Ah, we're good. What is happening? What are you doing? Stop being like that. It's all like bunching up. That's not good. Alright, it was also nice to meet you, and I will check out your YouTube channel, so if you have one more view by the end of the day, that'll be me. Alrighty, so I'll see you later. Alright, I think these turned out alright. I took some box out of the freezer for dinner. I didn't mark it. I don't know what's in it. It looked like it might be some kind of pasta sauce. So that's what I hope I have for dinner. Wait, this is missing quite a bit of the marking, I think. Oh, it's probably because of the pressing. I think when I pressed it, it took some of the marking out. Oh, that's annoying. Because I'm missing like half here and half there. Where is my pattern? I'll have to redo that marking. And now it's going to be more annoying because it's not flat anymore. Upside is that it is a straight line. So if I manage to set the beginning point, then I should be able to mark the rest as well. Oh god, it feels all wrong. Doesn't even want to nicely line up anymore. Because obviously I've already reduced the width a little bit with the first pin tuck I stitched. I hate this. Come on, lie flat. You can do it. I'm just gonna mark sort of the beginning of those Pintucks because I've got the bottom still. Those are still properly marked. So then I should be able to just draw a straight line between them. Hopefully that does it. And I suspect that these will be a little bit more difficult to stitch than the other ones, because the other ones are right on the grain, and these ones are fanning out a little bit towards the side. So it might be a little bit of a challenge. Because I will be trying to make a fold that is not quite on grain, and I have a feeling that the threads in the fabric are not going to like that, and they're going to try to wiggle. But we'll see how it goes. Maybe it's all fine. Let's see if the other sleeve has the same issue, because I also pressed that one. Oh, the white marking is held up a bit better. So this one's fine. I've got one in red and one in white, because I was messing with the paper. All right, let's do this. I guess it's about 5:15 now, got 3/4 of an hour, so finish the pin tucks, probably stitch the side seam on the sleeves. No, wait, I should not stitch the side seam on the sleeves, right? I'm really confused about how this is more easily put together, because it's not the traditional sleeve. I've got the raglan sleeve design, and so you don't really set a sleeve into an armhole, but rather you stitch the sleeve partially to the front and partially to the back. What is the most logical order? I think if you stitch the sleeve to... No, that doesn't make sense. Because you get sort of a point where it meets in the middle. Oh yeah, I think if you stitch the sleeve to the front, stitch the sleeve to the back, and then stitch the side seam and the inner seam of the sleeve at the same time. I think that makes the most sense. Let's go for that. But first, more pin tucks. That is a zigzag stitch that I don't need. But homemade pizza sounds pretty damn good. I should probably do homemade pizza. I've got a whole bunch of basil plants that are standing there doing nothing, so. Wait, what? Plants are finished. Grass. What is this thing? What's that for a dead thing? Where is the oil? What? I am confused. These are coming together pretty smoothly, and I'm glad that I haven't started pinning them because that would be overkill. I know I pin too many things that I probably can just get away with stitching right away. Instead of getting everything right to the like 0.5 millimeter. White jeans. Yeah, that's the thing. I bought some. I always have issues. Well, white clothes to begin with are a pain. But then I like black and white striped things. And do you put them in the white laundry? Do you put them in the black laundry? If you put them in the white laundry, are the black stripes either gonna stain the rest of the laundry or get sort of washed out real quick? And if you put them in the black laundry, are the white stripes gonna get gray? And like, what do people do with black and white striped clothing? Yeah, same with grays. Where do you put them? I guess I put my grays. I'm fine putting those with black things and using the like for black clothes detergent on it. Because if it gets a little bit darker, then who cares? But with white, I don't know. I still haven't really made up my mind on the black and white stripes. I will throw them in with the black laundry thinking, oh, if the white stripes get a little bit gray, it's fine because it will still be contrasted by the black and it won't be so obvious that it's gray. It will still look white to the eye. And then I toss it in with the white laundry, thinking, oh, but this way the white stripes will get nice and white, and if the black fades a little bit, it's not a problem because it will still look black to the eye because it's right next to the white. So I use the same logic to go either way. And just do whatever with them. honestly loving how this is turning out. It looks so, I don't know, professional. Having those thin little stripes. Neatly aligned. I should do this more often. This is a great design feature, even if it's a bit of a pattern drafting nightmare if you do a lot of them. Oh, my machine needs oiling? I'm not sure. It's been serviced fairly recently, so I think it might just be the microphone exaggerating things a little bit. Like, I think the last time it went for maintenance is about 3 months ago. I think that should be fine. I don't know, I occasionally just sort of open it up and oil things because I have no clue either. But I trust that maintenance man will have done it. Wait, this looks weird. Is it just me, or does it look like this first gets wider and then gets a bit narrower again over there? Which shouldn't be possible, I think. Oh no, wait, that is possible. I think I might have actually done that. Never mind, I think we're good. Okay, I think that's actually all the Pentucks. Sweet. It looks so pro, and I think it'll look even more pro when I iron it. Let's do this. I love it. Just look at how nice it is. I'm really pleased with this. Oh. I love it. It looks so good. Ooh. I'm liking this. Check out how pro and design that looks. I'm really pleased with that. Let's start, well, first let me mark which side is the back and which side is the front again, because I'm not convinced I still know. This is the chalked one, so this should be, I think this should be the back and this should be the front, which I think also adds up with that pointy bit. Before I stitch it to the wrong side of the shirt. Let's just double check that. Yeah, this is a pointy side, this is the back. B for back. And then on the other one, this is the back. All right, so the front of the shirt. I feel like this neckline looks very curved, but maybe that's fine once you put a collar on it. Oh crap, maybe I should do that whole fidgety collar nonsense first before I assemble the whole thing. That's probably smart. I will start by doing the back panels first so I can figure out how to do the collar thing and do it before stitching the front on. Where is my back panels? Hello? I never know where I put things. Is it this? No, that's the cutoff. Who knows? Ah, here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna set the sleeves aside for a sec. Just do the darts in the back panel and then stitch the back to the sleeves. Then take care of the whole, what is this sort of slit thing that I want to make in the front. And then stitch the front to the sleeves. So I don't have to do the whole fiddly nonsense with the whole shirt attached to it. Is this lined up properly? Almost. That's good. Just make sure I've got the front and the back lined up and then just mush it together with my fingernails. I think that should work. Alright, stitching time. Let's try to make this. I mean, I know that I've drawn the dart as a diamond shape, but realistically you should stitch it a bit smoother than that, otherwise it just looks really clunky. So I'm going to try to taper off the ends a little bit more and make it more of a curve in the middle. You know, like a human would be. Now the machine sounds a bit weird. It's going a little jung 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 jung. Is it the needle? Did I... Doesn't feel particularly sharp anymore. Might be that I hit it on something at some point. I'll grab a new one. Let's see if that changes anything. Oh yeah, that definitely feels sharper. And we throw that one away. Oh yeah, I've done these darts. Let's do... I will wait with the center back seam. You're onto the second pair of white jeans. Wow, you're on a roll. You're making it into a skirt. So you're just gonna unpick the sort of the seam and the crotch and fold it over each other or something? That's how I usually see those done. All right. So which sleeve connects here? This is the back panel, so the B of the sleeve should connect there. Yep, I think that adds up. It's going to be a little bit interesting because it's the whole concave to convex curve stitching thing. Basically, the the armhole goes like this and then like that, whereas on the sleeve it goes like this and then keeps on being this hollowed out shape. So that's going to be a bit interesting to pin. But I've done worse, and I've also made this work on the mock-up, so should be good. I'm just gonna do all the marked points first. Just poke straight through both of the corners and then make sure they're lined up. And do the same with the little notch here. And then whatever happens in between those points is probably fine. Seam of the inside seams, cut off the legs. Oh, yeah, you can fill up that hole that the legs leave with more stuff from the bottom. That works, yeah. I like that. I put a pin in my mouth. I'm sorry. I have to put a euro in the pin in mouth jar. Is that? No, that's still off. No, no, no. That's better. Just lining up fairly easily. What is your methods to like pin something exactly on the line, especially when it's not quite the same shape that you're pinning together? Because I have my lines on the wrong side of the fabric, and then I poke it through the line on the front. Check whether I'm also poking through the line on the back. And when both of those are going straight through the line, I sort of push the tip of the pin into the fabric but not through yet, and then I check on the front whether it's gonna be in the right spot, and you can still sort of wiggle it left and right before you push it through. And that seems to work okay, but I have a feeling maybe there's an easier way. I think I'm having some issues with the fact that this panel is way more cut on the bias than this. And it's stretching a little bit differently because I've suddenly got some extra length here that sort of came from nowhere. And I think it's stretchiness from the bias. See if I can sort of ease it in. Oh, I didn't unplug the iron. That's why it's making noise. Come on, come out. Hey. That's not right. Hey, Kat. I haven't seen you before in the chat. You based on both sides. I find it easier to pin. Oh yeah, I know people always tell me that that's a method, and I often do use basting thread to mark things, even though I hate it. But when I feel it, it kind of works, but it always feels like not quite as exact as I want it. But maybe that's just me being antsy over a millimeter that doesn't even matter. I think you're right, and I think I'm not gonna do it. Because just low-level OCD. Okay, I think that looks reasonable. I'll also pin the other one and then stitch both of them, I guess. Oh yeah, that should go this way. And that way. And that should be marked to be, yes. A pair of jeans, some serious high quality stuff. Oh, I mean, nice that you have high quality stuff. Not so nice that you have to seam rip the whole thing. That has to be annoying. Like, oh, they did it right, and now I have 3 times the work. Thanks. I guess since it's sort of nearing the last 15 minutes, I gotta think a little bit about what I'm gonna do next time. And I think it's gonna be that I'm gonna figure out how to actually do that polo V shape at the bottom thingy for the neckline. And then do it on the stream. So maybe someone else can also get something out of my Googling efforts. And also because I know that I will maybe not want to do it. And this is gonna force me to do it. Whoops. not gonna put it in my mouth. I'm not gonna put the pen in my mouth. This is coming together pretty nicely, actually. Oh, this is going to be more of a hassle, but it's behaving. So let's stitch it. I'm a bit worried because I just sort of pinned it left to right, which means I pinned it top to bottom on the one and bottom to top on the other. And that because it's on the bias, it's going to stretch differently. Let's just hope for the best, because I cannot be bothered to do it a different way. I do have the same piece of fabric on top every time, so theoretically, if the feed dogs stretch it differently, it should still be fine. It's starting to bunch up a little bit because I think it's stretching a little bit. Let's try to get that. Please don't pucker, please don't pucker. I think we're good. Looks pretty good. I like it. I like how weird this looks as a garment. It's like half of a back panel and a sleeve that's not closed up. Yep, seems legit. I guess my whole worries about is it going to stretch differently would be alleviated if I just stay stitched or something. Or is that called stay stitching? The stitch where you make it not stretchy just by stitching a little bit outside of the seam allowance? I think it is. then I'd have to put extra work in. Who likes that? Okay, that's the backs attached to the fronts. No, attached to the sleeves. And it's just about time for me to call it a day, so I think I will. Because the alternative is that I go figure out how to do that whole front slit polo closure thing, which I'm not going to figure out in time. So I guess progress for today is I fixed the sleeve pattern, I cut everything, traced everything. Before next time, I'm gonna pull all these little threads through from the end of the pin tucks. Hi, Diana! Yeah, you have missed, I guess, most of it. Though, look at how good this stuff looks. Where's my my front panel? Where did I put it? Check out how good this stuff looks. Is it not beautiful? But yeah, I am gonna call it a day. I'm gonna pull all these threads from the ends of these stitch lines through to the back. And then next time will be this shirt, but it will be making that polo closure thingy and then stitching the rest of it together. So thanks a bunch for hanging out in the chat and sharing fairy tales and sewing advice and all kinds of things with me. It's always great to have some company while I'm working on stuff. So thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye!